Okay. So, Carmen, how you doing there, sir?
How's it going?
Life's treating me fair.
Hopefully.
Yeah. I don't know, man. This hail today has just been,
Yeah, it's gnarly.
this weather today has just been outrageous, crazy.
Yeah, I'm really ready for some real sunshine.
I was just telling, about a week ago, I was saying, I cannot wait for some heat
Yeah.
of any kind right now.
Yeah.
I might just go to the tanning bed.
You know, I'm almost there
What is
myself.
phototrope? Am I saying that right?
Where you read
Going
that?
towards the light.
Okay, gotcha. Right here where it says phototrope.
Oh, yeah.
3H.
That's just some document. You don't have to,
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
or you won't have to read that.
Okay.
You're just giving, this is just a,
Well, I figured it'd be better if I sounded any big words out before we started than do it during the meeting.
yeah, that's a true statement. So, but they did submit their, after they used the
Yeah.
right way and everything.
I remember the
Sounded really
look
good.
of surprise when we told them they had to have an application or permit to be cutting trees. They were really surprised. By the way, I'm Dave Wagner.
Meredith Childs,
Meredith, I believe we've met before?
maybe.
Met possibly.
Yeah.
How long you been on the tree board?
Just pulled that.
What's that?
Can't believe we just
5 or
pulled
6
that.
years?
Okay, so a while then.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And I'm just waiting for Cora. I'm assuming she's gonna come online.
I hope she comes online, yeah,
I hope we have quorum. Oh, thank God. Okay.
yeah, we need to have a meeting.
So, do you see how your great big room screen?
Oh, I don't want to be great big.
No.
Who's the storm drain person?
In regards to what?
Clogged one.
Where?
The clogged one? Plugged up?
Where is it located?
Perfect. Thank
Do
you.
you know where they took down the eucalyptus trees on 10th Street Hill? North?
Yeah, well done.
Yeah, I think so.
Got it.
Right there.
Catch basin gets plugged up or something?
The drain itself is plugged up to grade.
Okay. Yeah, that's gonna be us. We'll get up there and we'll clean it.
Yeah, it's been that way for a while, and I assume nobody's cleaned it yet.
10th and what?
It's right on 10th,
Right on 10th?
just right underneath where they took the trees down, the big eucalyptus. I think it's,
Oh, yeah, I know where that's at.
Yeah.
That's up on Fifth. The eucalyptus that came out from behind Todd Hardy's house.
no. No,
That was the big.
that was the big one.
Yeah.
These were the big ones on 10th Street on the west side, about halfway up the hill from Mingus.
Okay.
I took them out maybe last year.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get up there. We'll clean that road with the sweeper.
Yeah, and then the overhanging corner for Cedar, et cetera, that's up on 10th, 2nd, North 2nd, is still there. I told John about it 2 months ago. Look early. Rex said he's in
Oh, here we go.
Roseburg.
There she is.
Yeah, he said the one day this month he couldn't make a tree board meeting. That was the day the tree board meeting was.
Hopefully she can hear our audio. Hey Cora, can you hear us? I see your mouth move, but you're muted.
Hey, Cora, you're muted if you can hear us.
I can hear you.
Hey, Cora, you're unmuted.
Yay. All right, we did it.
Make sure my focus we good.
Cora, are you aware of any other board members that are not planning on attending?
I haven't heard of anybody.
I haven't gotten any.
We haven't received any emails of no attendance, so I hope we have a quorum.
Because this will be the second meeting if we
This
don't.
would be the second meeting that we did not have a quorum.
Yeah.
I guess if we don't have a quorum, we do have one item on the agenda, the Arbor Day celebration. I don't know necessarily if we need a quorum for that, as much as it is just kind of information for the tree board and maybe just a little bit of input, but I don't know if a quorum is required for that.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's not a voting item, correct?
I don't think it's a voting item. It's just a discussion.
Who is the president, the head of the tree board meeting, the tree board, who is that?
Is it Cora?
Cora, okay.
Me.
Cora's on, Cora. You have to forgive me, I'm still learning, I'm Dave Wagner, I've been in this position for about 3 months now, so I'm kind of learning everything, and so my apologies.
Not a problem. I've been on the tree board since 1998.
Okay, so you've been doing this for a little while then?
Yep, Rex is the only one that's been on it longer than me, and I think he came on in 1996.
Okay,
Well, we appreciate that, Cora, yours and Rex's and everybody's commitment to this. Somebody calling in.
Who's calling in?
No, it was my phone, I'm sorry.
Oh, very
I think
pleasant.
that's how that
yeah, very
works.
pleasant.
Boy, yeah.
Almost dozed off there for a second.
I'm going to turn it off so that nobody calls me.
So we probably can't even have discussions if we don't have a quorum, huh?
Well, I'm willing to share the information that I know about the trees that we've had issues with and deemed. If you guys want to go over it, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to that since we're here. Greg, I don't want to speak out of turn, but would you be okay with
I
that?
don't think we can't ask for any action.
Oh, okay.
We can't ask for an action of the board if we don't have a quorum.
Do we have anything like super pressing?
We do have 3 requests that, once again, without a quorum, I don't know if we can move forward with approving those requests.
Yeah, so,
Yeah, I think we'll have to wait if we don't have a quorum.
Okay. Well, I'll share information.
Which, at that point, staff, we can reach out to the property owners and just advise of that. But the only other topic that I think is, that we can do without having a quorum is gonna be the Arbor Day proclamation that was approved last night by city council. Carmen, thank you for that, and the rest of the council members last night. But we do have that discussion that we can have today, and maybe just a short meeting, and then, like I said, staff can reach out to the 3 applicants for tree removal requests, and just kind of postpone it till our next scheduled meeting, which I think is scheduled in June.
Yes, correct.
are the folks that have requests out, are they able to hang in there for a little while longer?
I don't know that answer.
Yeah.
We could reach out to them and just maybe get out there and evaluate with property owners. I don't know if any of these are deemed as being dangerous, because if it was deemed dangerous, we probably would have approved it prior to the meeting, but.
The only ones that I think that might be considered dangerous would be the ones up on North 4th Street, there by Al Pierce, the old Al Pierce building. In the event that we have continued problem with the weather like we have today, those trees are in really, really sad shape. And I would hate to see us not take action on those if there was a need, you know, if the weather continues to be bad with wind and such.
So these are the, so just for conversation, 375 North 4th is requested as being dangerous. And 2 have already fallen.
Yeah, 2 have already fallen, and the other ones are in really bad shape.
These are plums?
Plums, yes, that have been there for probably 50 years or more.
Yeah.
They were planted in the 40s.
Yeah,
And they built them.
It's this guy here, but.
wow. 80 years old?
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I lived on Juniper and we had all of these and they've gradually reach their lifespan.
They're very susceptible to rot.
Mm-hmm.
And there's another one across the street. It's probably in the same category. It looks better, but not the same size.
Yeah.
You can see here the grape the hardlean has on it here. And then you can see the damage to the bottom of the base of the tree as well. I've been up there twice and looked at it.
Well, you know, we do have some trees that are of concern, but because they're a removal request, in order for the tree board to make a decision, we need to have a quorum. Staff will reach out to the property owners or the neighbors or whoever's making the requested, or the applicant, and have a conversation with them about how to proceed at this point in time. I would advise that they wait until the next tree board meeting. If that can happen, great, I would encourage that. However, I think if they were to make a request and staff was to deem them dangerous trees or a safety hazard, then staff would act at that point in time without a quorum.
Yeah. Let's see, how many more people do we need to make a quorum? We just need one more?
I think maybe 1, 2, 3. I think it's, I think you need to have 5.
We have 5, yeah.
So you would need 2 more.
Dang, I was gonna say, I could try to call Patrick and see if he could hop on a call just real quick, but that won't be enough.
So
I'll send out another.
Guess we'll just have to wait.
that's the only path I see at this point in time.
Yep, I agree. What do you think, Cora?
I think so too. I think we need to wait a few minutes and see if anybody else shows up or comes online.
Do you want to wait?
I
till-
would be there today, except I don't have a vehicle today, so.
Oh, you're here?
Do you want to wait till a quarter after? I'm okay with the time.
Yep, I'm okay with
Yeah,
that.
yeah, let's do that.
Y'all got any coffee made?
I can get you some. I got, you can go hit the old Keurig there. I don't know if we have a pot. Not so many coffee drinkers here anymore.
Really?
It's weird. And every time I go by, it's like empty. And I was like, yeah, I just don't want to make a whole pot for myself.
Yeah.
So I just hit the Keurig. Need a Keurig hit there, sir?
Yeah, I'm okay.
All right.
Especially if we only have 15 minutes, I can get a cup of coffee later.
Okay.
During city council, there's always a pot of coffee in the back, though.
Yeah.
What about you guys
How
got
about we,
back there for during council meetings? I've seen that a couple times.
Yeah.
How about we make that on the next meeting? We'll make sure there's a pot. In the summertime, I don't know necessarily if you'll need it.
Yeah, because the sun will be out, but we're in these dark chambers.
Chambers.
So last night, it was freezing in here today, or last night.
Oh, was it?
I was cold, oh my
Yeah.
gosh. But maybe I'm just getting older and, you know, stay cold.
It was
all the
cold
time. It was
last night.
cold. But,
I was toasty at my house, but.
yeah, nice.
Did you go down and watch Patrick fly those trees?
No, I didn't. No, John went down there. He took a look at that though. He sent me some pictures back. I was buried that day and I ran crane for 10 or 11 years, so I'm pretty familiar. I've never flown a tree like that out, but yeah, so I didn't quite make it down there. But were you on site?
I drove by after the first day, I guess, and saw what was going on. I know Patrick, so
Yeah.
I got pictures.
Yeah.
'Cause they said they were having trouble with weights,
Mm.
but he was able to pick up everything they could.
That tree over by the art museum, the big oak tree,
Mm.
it's on the back corner.
Okay.
The one they
How-
cut the roots to get it inside the concrete?
Oh, they had, well, I guess it would be the southwest corner.
About halfway down the art
Yeah.
museum.
It's on the back corner by the loading dock.
Okay.
That
Yeah.
huge one, it
Mhm.
seems like it always has problems. For a while there was some branches hanging by that all the semis that come to drop off supplies would hit. But
Yeah, I think we removed those branches.
You did, yeah. Is it still doing okay, or does that one need any more maintenance?
Looks like it's doing good.
Doing okay?
I'm not a tree guy. You guys know my experience with trees. But I think after we limbed that and we took that hazard out of the way, then I think it's doing good.
There's all those plums that are in the 4th Street parking area
Yeah.
What are we gonna do with those? Are those ones gonna stick around for a while, you think, or are those ones eventually gonna be replanted?
I think those will probably stay around until we rehabilitate that parking lot. Right now, we don't have any major designs for a new parking structure itself. We do have some plans to go in there and do some striping and some sealing and all that. If, we wanna talk about it more seriously, we definitely can. I know they're not very tall trees.
No.
They're almost like shrubs.
Yeah, well, they're decent height. I know that when bigger rigs come through, they always
Perhaps
hang
maybe
up
just
on that.
some maintenance on them to
Yeah.
kind of,
Bring them up a little bit.
bring them up a little bit.
But
Do the plums make a huge mess in there?
no, they're just flowering plums.
Oh, okay.
So that's the good part. But yeah, and they're beautiful. Like right around this time of year when they
Yeah.
start flowering. But I don't know. I imagine that we'll eventually have the same problem that we're having with the ones on Highland that are in here.
These are a lot smaller.
A lot smaller.
Yeah, they're not very big. The ones in the parking lot.
I don't know when those were planted, if they were part of the original parking lot design, because they have all their diamond tree plots, or whatever you want to call it. But they're not fast growers.
No. I see.
Are those the ones along Fourth Street there by, across the street from Outdoor Inn?
No, in the parking lot itself,
Oh, in the parking lot.
yeah.
The ones on Curtis are the ones that are overgrowing their,
Tree wells.
tree walls.
Those ones aren't plums though, are they?
No, they're maples.
Maples, that's right.
Yeah, those, so that project, the Curtis Road sidewalk project, there's a couple full to it. We do have our box culvert that runs right through there, that needs, work on it, and so we kind of have a cart and a horse, type situation, which one comes first. I think the last estimate I saw for replacement or rehabilitation of that box was right around 15, 16 million.
Oh, to do the whole section?
Just to do because it is, I think it's reaching 100 years old, but I don't know exactly. I haven't been part of the conversation, so you just hallway talks in the fucking line, picking up little snippets of information.
Yeah.
So I'm not exactly 100% positive because I'm not on that project yet. I will be in the future, but I'm just not on it yet. But that's going to be a big planned project, and whether we do the box or we do the road surface and trees and sidewalks now, and then we have to go in and redo the box, we're just kind of throwing
Yep.
money after.
No, we don't want to do that.
And then if we do the, whichever one goes first is going to be the big driver on it.
Yeah.
And really the big cost is going to be the box project, which you're familiar with right there because it runs, I think, right in front of your warehouse.
Oh, yeah.
And so you saw what we did there.
Yeah, that was a big project.
That was a big project. And so, it's interesting as we're looking at some of these issues, it's what's happening underground. We can look at the surface, but it's really what's happening underground is the big thing. And so, you gotta weigh those options and just kind of look at it. I like to look at it more holistically versus, just hey, this is our problem, let's fix that.
Yep.
So,
Be nice to get, I think we were looking at the parking lot upgrades in terms of funding through the water quality funding options, the 1% that, So it'd be nice to tie in some of these grants together to do the entire project. Just kind of do it all at once, but
yeah, I think that those are for those other two parking lots and the Third and Central
yeah,
parking lot and the Front Street parking lot.
the Front Street, Third and Central, but I thought for some reason we were thinking about doing the same thing with the Fourth Street parking lot, but maybe I'm wrong. Because I'd heard something about green parking lot upgrades, doing stormwater retention and, just rehabbing that whole thing, rain garden kind of thing, so.
Yeah, I haven't been
Nice.
part of those, but that'd be awesome.
It would be. I'd like to see more rain gardens.
I know you guys' facility, the hospital, even the new food truck place, I mean, it's all great work
Mhm.
that's happening. I like those little rain gardens.
Yep. Well, I think it's kind of required now, isn't
It
it?
is,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah,
Some type of stormwater mitigation, water quality.
makes sense to me.
Mitigation is with the project, I think if it disturbs over 1,000 square feet, I think it's in our municipal code that,
Mm-hmm. That's great.
so.
I'm all about rain gardens.
Intercept the water.
Yeah. I have zero runoff on my piece of property.
And then North Third, you were talking about Third and Central. Third and Central, that's the home of some other big trees that are up around there. Where was it? There are oaks down there, I think.
What's the address on that?
Third and Central.
Third and Central?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got obviously, you guys know more about trees than I do, but I mean, we have an aging infrastructure with trees that were planted many years ago that have stood the test of time and are,
Right.
overgrowing their collars, if you will, and so.
The problem I see with those is when they start overgrowing the concrete, then they start getting constricted and you start getting damage and then you
Yeah.
have things that'll
So
start dipping.
just for instance, I think, are we advertised now? Are we advertised on the 28th for a sidewalk rehabilitation project over here between 5th and 7th on commercial,
Yep.
where we'll be pulling out, I think, 5 trees, I think it is.
There's a lot of them there that are, damaging.
That have pushed the sidewalks up, so,
yeah.
and then we'll be putting in the tree grates like we have on 4th with appropriate trees for the area to grow and be there for many years to come.
Third and Central that you're talking about, that is that oak tree down there that's right by Coos watershed, right? Isn't that the Coos watershed building? Yeah, it comes up over the top of the apartments there.
Just
Okay.
west of Jenny's.
Yeah, yep. We had Rex come in there, we had a sidewalk issue, somebody stubbed their toe on it, so
Yeah.
Rex grounded down and made it to where it was easily passable after he was done.
Right.
Well,
So do
it's approximately 12:18, well, it is 12:18, approximately 12:20. If you'd like, I would love to discuss or have Dave discuss the Arbor Day discussion and just kind of talk to you guys about our plans for that, and then
Yeah.
I'll let you guys
Yeah, go ahead.
determine how you do it. Well, with that, I'll turn it over to Dave Wagner. Dave, just real quick, Dave Wagner is the new Transportation and Facilities Superintendent. We've done some reorganization here at City Hall, and I've taken over the Water Quality Division as well as the Transportation and Facilities Operations, day-to-day operations. With that, we've hired Dave Wagner as the superintendent, John Eck, and Dave Wagner is part of the succession plan for John Eck's pending retirement that is scheduled for December 31st this year. And so John is now reporting to Dave as an assistant superintendent while we glean the information from John's time with the city, his experience and his expertise. So Dave's going to be capturing that information, and that way we have a seamless transition with John's retirement.
Wonderful.
And so with that, Dave Wagner is going to be attending future tree board meetings. I'll start to phase out of coming to the tree board meetings. I'll always be available though, but we're going to kind of let Dave drive the tree board bus, and I'll be a passenger along for the ride
There you go.
with the rest of the board.
Yeah.
So with that, I'll turn it over to Dave Wagner. Dave, welcome to the tree board, and take it away, sir.
Absolutely. Well, thank you guys. And it was just kind of a few minutes ago, I was told I'm going to be presenting here. So I'll have Greg give me a hand as I stumble my way through this. Greg, help me out here. So as far as the agenda for this, for the tree board, we're going to start here on page 40.
Yeah,
Is
so
that
we're
what-
going to start here. You're going to kind of just talk about the action requested and give a bit of the background, or you can do the background first and then the action requested. It'd be a good way to go.
Okay. So as of right now, I know that at Eastside Boat Ramp, Mr. Jim Toffelmeyer has donated 3 trees. He's coordinated, now Greg, correct me if I'm wrong, with Rex Miller, and he's got those trees. I don't have, do you know what they are exactly, what
I
variety of
don't know
tree?
what species they are.
Yeah,
at
what
this point.
species they are? So
I
we're
think
gonna
they're
be,
the same species that we planted at John Toppet's last year.
Okay, is it the same person who donated the
It
trees?
is the same person
Okay.
that donated the trees last year to the city. He's got some more trees that he would like to donate to the city. I think it's 3 more trees.
correct, 3?
And so,
Yeah, so we're gonna be placing those at the east side boat ramp. We have 3 trees that are currently, dead, dying. They're not flowering out there, so we wanna remove those, and we wanna replace them with these 3 trees that Mr. Toffelmeyer has donated. And then Greg, help me out at the, at Toppet's Park. How many trees are going in there?
I think we were doing another 3 trees at that point. So a total of 6 trees this year.
Okay.
And I just know from past experience that we want to make sure that they're in real good visible locations, because we've had some damage done to the ones that were planted out there last year. We had a few folks grab hold of those and pull them out and do some damage. So it was just really unfortunate that had happened. So yeah, so placement's going to be real crucial on that.
Yep.
How many did we lose?
Great.
I want to say half of them. And I think we planted 12 last year.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think half of them were uprooted or relocated to somebody else's yard because they didn't think they belonged in the park anymore.
Some of them were just
Whatever
damaged.
the situation was.
Some of
Yeah.
them were damaged in place too. We had some unhoused citizens, I believe it to be, that had done some damage to one of them. They
Yeah.
weren't real happy when we were down there digging. And so yeah, so anyways, just something to keep an eye on and be mindful
Okay.
of.
Unhoused citizens?
Correct.
Is
Yeah.
that the new term?
Yeah, correct. Yeah. I have another couple of terms that might be more descriptive if you need it later.
I just wanted to confirm that that's what I heard.
Unhoused population, yeah.
Unhoused population, Carmen, is that the?
That's another term.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Excellent. So, so then, the action requested, staff is requesting the board discuss possible locations and events for upcoming Arbor Day. In 1872, J. Sterling Morton proposed to the Nebraska Board of Agriculture that a special day be set aside for the planting of trees. And this holiday, called Arbor Day, was first observed with the planting of more than 1 million trees in Nebraska. Arbor Day is now observed throughout the nation and the world.
Okay, cool.
Okay, Greg, is there anything else I need to put
Yeah,
on?
so just a real quick background. In 2021, through a proclamation, Mayor Joe Benetti and the city council established that the last Friday of April will be observed as Arbor Day in the city of Coos Bay. Since 1994, the city of Coos Bay has been a Tree City USA member and has been recognized by the National Arbor Day Foundation. I would also like to share that we have a placard in the hallway at City Hall with several rungs of additional plaques below it. We just put on our 27th year placard as a member of the Tree City USA. No, 29th year, sorry. 29th year of being a Tree City USA. So we're super excited about that, super proud of that. We fly our flag, our Tree City USA flag, daily out front of City Hall here. And so with that, we would just like some input from the tree board members, if you guys would like to opine on possible locations other than the ones that we've already described. If you guys would like at a different location, that's fine, but we would encourage at least the 3 out of east side be replaced because they're not doing so well out at the east side boat ramp.
I think both the options look good, sound good to me.
I don't have any problem with what you've proposed.
Nice.
So this will be the 28th is when you guys will be planting them,
That's weather permitting,
weather permitting.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, usually we don't have that problem since I've been with the city, but this year it's a crapshoot.
Yeah.
No.
Does that mean that you plant if it's not too dry or not too wet?
It's a great question.
I don't know how to answer that question.
If
I don't-
it's sunny, you guys are all gonna take the day off and get out of here. 'Cause you haven't
If
seen
you're out
the
in
sun.
the woods and it's too hot, you don't plant.
Well,
If you're out in the woods and it's raining, it's a great day to plant.
we have every intention of planting on the 28th.
Okay.
So that's our plan.
Sounds good.
And we would invite all the tree board members to come out and help as well if you would like. We can make sure we send an email out to times and
Yeah.
locations of where to meet. And
I was able to attend last year. I'd like to attend this year if I
Yeah,
can.
it was pretty fun last year. I had a good time. It was my first time
Mhm.
planting trees with the city, and so.
I've always thought that, I know there's some issue with ownership of property here, but that the boardwalk, the dike along the boardwalk would benefit from some vertical structure. I know that the port, I believe, I don't know, I can never really remember if the port is the owner. I believe the port is the owner. I think that question came up yesterday.
That question did come up last night.
Last
So
night.
the port is the owner of the dike itself, or the elevated area. I don't think it's a registered dike per se, but they are the property owner. We do lease the path along that top of the dike.
I just wondered if, I don't know, for me personally, I realize that the view is nice to be able to see the water and everything, but having some vertical structure and some shade, I think would be really an appropriate thing, but that's my personal opinion, so I was wondering what maybe the rest of the tree board would think about some trees along the pathway out there.
So if I recall, several years ago, prior to me being with the city even, there was a failure out there. The city went in and paid to have it done, and I think the city planted some willows along the area, and none of them took. And
Probably saltwater.
so.
Salt water, I was gonna say, I think it's probably salt water.
Yeah, and so I don't know what the fix is for that, what kind of trees would survive well in that saltwater environment down there.
Shore pine.
Sure. But either way, I think that's a discussion with the tree board, obviously, but also I think with the port, because it is their property, it is private property, it's not.
And there may be issues just because it is a dike area and having tree rooted in the dike. I'm not sure if that's a good thing.
I would take that into consideration as
Yeah.
well.
I would imagine that more vegetation shoring up the dike, as we're calling it, would be more of a stable design. But I don't work for the port, so I mean, they allowed us to plant willows at one point, so we just picked the wrong species, is what it sounds like.
There are some trees up there.
There are.
There's the one at the north and one at the south, and then there's the ones beside the railroad museum. That's all that's there. And they take a beating. Those trees take a beating from the wind.
I could imagine. Just for instance, the flagpoles that we just installed, we do have a standard operating procedure to take them down in high winds.
Oh, really?
Because the wind loading on those flagpoles, flagged is 104 miles an hour and unflagged is 144. I think our procedure is to remove them at 90 miles an hour. Which I don't know if we've ever seen winds in excess of that in the Bay Area, the downtown area, but I guess the possibility is there. And so I think all the structures, built structures in the city have to have a wind load. And we do have I don't know the limit, but we do have a limit on, or minimum requirement for wind loads, so. That came from the building folks when we were talking about our flagpoles.
Yep.
So, but yeah, I think vegetation on anything is a great stabilization. It's a great foundation stabilization. Proper grasses, the proper vegetation, it would be definitely help the whole thing with erosion. But I don't know about trees as far as that goes. But
Well, does anybody on the tree board have any comments for that concept? Looking at you two.
Well, I personally think because the city doesn't own that property, it's kind of hard for us to dictate to the port what should be done.
Well, we do lease it though, So.
Right, but that doesn't give us the right to be able to plant things there, though.
I realize it doesn't give us the right to, but it does give us the ability to ask permission to do installation of design elements. So it's more of a question of, does this make any sense? Would anybody else be in favor of doing something like this? And then from there, it would be a conceptual idea that we move forward to maybe bring to the port to see if they would be interested in allowing us to do something like this.
I think it makes sense to ask.
So would you like staff to talk to the port, or maybe that make a topic with conversation with the port to discuss alternate vegetation on the dike?
I mean, personally, I would. I know that yesterday during the council meeting, Councilor DeNovo brought up something about grass and the issues of maintaining it, and was wondering about different options for either vegetation or ground cover. And personally, I would love to see some trees out there. It just looks barren without any vertical structure. So, I mean, that's something I'd like to see. And I guess I would like to have the discussion with the port in general about the landscape design of the dike and what would be amenable for them to allow us to do as leasees of the of that area, and if some trees would be appropriate.
So one thing I don't know is, outside of the hardscape that's there that I understand we're leasing, is there any buffer on either side of that hardscape?
That's where the question
If
will
there's-
arise.
Yeah, if there's no extension beyond the hardscape, then planting the trees on the
Well,
city.
do we maintain it?
Yes.
We do maintain the hardscape, yeah.
So I would imagine that they would have some kind of agreement that's similar to our right-of-way agreement, that property owners have to maintain the right-of-way, meaning like the sidewalks and the areas between the road and the sidewalk, and it's not their land, but we're still required to maintain it, which is what we're doing. And then you can request plantings within that area. So I don't see this as being an obscene request on our behalf, the city's behalf. But that's just me, and that's why I wanted to clarify, like, if anybody else thought that trees along that landscape would make any sense. And personally I do, but you know, it would be something that the tree board itself would have to be like okay with.
Yeah, I think that the whole board is gonna have to make a decision as to whether or not that's gonna happen, you know, as to whether we're gonna go to the port and ask for that. The three of us don't have the authority right at the moment, because we have no quorum to be able to say that that's what we wanna do.
Of course, we can't say do it, and of course, we would need board quorum to say we would like to do this, but I think that we could still request the staff to ask questions about landscape design and possibilities within that. That doesn't require any action or even a stance on whether or not the tree board would support plantings. It would just be a question of what is the options, and doing a little background research with the port in terms of their I guess plan, or what they're comfortable with being done on that land.
The other thing you have to consider is you've got a railroad right away through there also.
We got what?
A railroad right away.
Yeah, but it's not, it would be on the other side of the path.
I know, but railroad right away usually involves more than just the track width.
Mhm.
So it's, when you talk about an easement or whatever they've got there, it's still rights and consulting, et cetera.
Mhm. Well,
Yeah.
I guess, once again, that is the question for the port to give us an answer on, is what I'm looking for. Not necessarily, we're gonna do this,
Right.
are you cool with it? It's more like, hey, starting a discussion with the port to see what is possible.
So, yeah, council member DeNovo was asking about the vegetation along the boardwalk area that the
Mhm.
city owns. And we're gonna actually look into some of those requests. It's on my topic to meet with Dave today about.
I-
But
Greg,
Yes, ma'am.
I've noticed that we have Sam Nelson and Patrick Bringarter on remote, online. So are both of those members of the tree board?
Sam Nelson is a contract administrator with the city of Coos Bay. She's sitting to my right.
Okay.
And it looks
Oh,
like
sorry.
Patrick joined in
2 minutes ago.
a couple minutes ago, so not enough yet for a quorum.
Okay.
But with that, I think, Carmen, what we can do as staff, we can ask the question. We can do that. And
Yeah.
at the next tree board meeting, we can present hopefully our findings.
Yeah.
on that answer.
Yeah, I guess as a commissioner, I'd just would like to request that we get some information on that so that the board could have a discussion. And since you're gonna be talking with them about ground cover anyways, might as well throw in the concept of a tree or
Yeah,
several trees.
and that ground cover is gonna be for the boardwalk
Mhm.
area that the city owns. Not necessarily moving further south,
Yeah,
just along the flagpole areas and
Yeah.
the dock, and the wooden area.
Mhm.
there.
but dovetails really well into the rest of that whole thing, and so.
It makes
you know,
sense moving south also.
Yeah, so I'd like to have that discussion, and since we are maintaining the grasses along that southern portion of the boardwalk, it'd be kind of nice, if we wanted to make any changes, I'd like to know what would be a possibility.
So we can make that, that conversation, agenda item for the next, tree board meeting.
I would love to request that.
Okay, anything else for today? I'll let you guys kind of see where you guys want to go here.
That sounds great.
Sounds fine with me.
Meredith, where's the plug catch basin at?
So, Cora, are we
Where's the catch basin?
done with the meeting today? Do we want to close it out?
Yep, we're done with the meeting today. We'll table all this stuff until our June meeting.
Do we have a date for the June meeting, or are we gonna send out another doodle poll?
We do have a scheduled date for it. I think it's the
It's just north of date.
Wednesday, third Wednesday of,
It's probably the 28th of June.
yeah, the 21st of
That's
June.
straight across from Fur, but Fur doesn't.
It's either the
cross.
21st or the 28th. It is on the calendar. I just don't have it in
See,
front of me right now.
Okay,
Here's the eucalyptus they took out. Here's Date Street.
Sounds
Cora,
good.
thank you.
It's
Hopefully
You're
your
welcome. All
recovery's
right,
coming
talk to you
along
guys later.
all right, thank you, Cora.
All right,
Remember the number of the
bye.
house, the White House on the right side is.
All right.
well. Well, shoot. Thanks, guys.